What was the classic Glenn Nelson recruiting pitch? Top recruit comes in the office. What do you tell him?
What I always said, and it didn't matter whether it was a top recruit or not. My recruiting thing was, and thank heaven for Princeton, was if you want the best undergraduate education in the world, you want to play good volleyball, and you want to have fun playing it, and you want things in that order, come to Princeton. That's pretty good. You might want to write that one down. Because Harvard can't say that. If I find out that Brian Bays is saying that, there's going to be big trouble. Of course, Brian Bays doesn't say much, so.
I loved it from start to finish, and I felt like Glenn was a great leader and a great coach for that program. I think one of the things I remember most is he's one of the most competitive guys that I've ever met. It doesn't matter whether it's a volleyball or darts, tennis, golf, the name game in the van. He wants to win at everything he does, and I think that filters down to the team. And I think it's extremely tight alumni group, Princeton volleyball players, and I think that's a reflection of Glenn. He's the connection that, for 30 years, he's the link and the bond between us all, and I think the close-knit nature of that group is completely due to him.
The guy's living up in Massachusetts. He can't coach. You're coaching Princeton, so he's got to coach Harvard. We're going to hold it against him? I don't think we should hold it against him. I think it's great that he's doing it, and he's doing a good job. So I'm proud of him. Oh, God. What a stud. All-American kid, what can you say? Great player, funny guy, one of the famous Vanna dudes. Yeah. Morgan had a way of getting to the heart of the matter. Like, we would be debating some issue, no matter what it was, and much debate would be going on for like 5 minutes, and then Morgan would chime in with the definitive statement on the issue. So, and then having grown up when I did, I didn't really understand at the time his military kind of commitment, and I do now. It's still tough. Yeah, Phelps was probably, Phelps was probably our one of our best early recruits. He was first team All-American at JOs, and he's skinny little guy that could jump. But we started to joke, that the more people on the court, the less effective John's game was, because he used to play that game in the cage, one-on-one beach game, and he was a very good beach player. He was Ken Steffes' first beach partner, so. And then John, it was funny, as he got evolved and got to his senior year, he was like, he didn't even want the ball set anywhere near the net. He'd be playing left, and he'd want the ball like maybe 6 feet off the net and low and outside, and we were, we just look at the setters and they go, well, just know when he's out there. And they go, so what you want is a lousy set. And basically that's what he wanted, but he would put him away. It would confuse people when all of a sudden guys were hitting balls 3 feet off the net that they had a chance to block, and all of a sudden the guy comes up and he's 6 feet off the net, and they're going like, what's going on? But he was very effective. Again, another very funny guy, very dry.
How did the California trip start?
I think John Phelps demanded it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, this was Phelps. Coach, we must play in California. So, all right, John.
So somewhere football.
No, football recruited Dean. So Dean came to me freshman year and said he was a football player, but he also played volleyball. And he came, I think he was in Dillon playing hoops had a season or something his freshman year, and he came over, and I talked to him. You know, we rallied a little, and I said, okay, you know, and then the football team and his father recommended that he do track, you know, his freshman year. So he didn't really like it, and he was actually thinking about leaving Princeton, and then he fell in with us, and all thoughts of leaving Princeton ended, and he started for 3 years. He did, yes. He had a great football career. I think he still might hold the Ivy League record for interceptions career. No, well, we knew about him. So, and this was back when there was something called early decision, and he applied early and got in on his own in December before we knew about him, but before we had really, you know. So he was great for us because he counted as a walk-on for us and a walk-on for football because he got in on his own without, you know, either one of these programs really knowing what he was about. And then we found out this guy's coming, and then we found out that he was good, and we were excited. And then he came and he hit a few balls, and we were like, damn. Remember Huddy going, Jaya bangs, dude. So, all right.
I attribute a lot of my success, not just in volleyball, but in life, to what I learned at Princeton and the time I spent with Coach Nelson and the team there. You cannot argue with the success he had as a recruiter, the success he had in developing his players, in creating a sense of community and tightness and camaraderie, but also intense competition. So I think he did a great job molding a program and creating a culture and an environment. He was a good tactical coach, he was a good game coach, he was a good skill developer, but what he was outstanding at was really building a program. And I think his record, literally his record, wins and losses in both men's and women's, stands, I think, as the best Princeton will probably ever see.
Yeah, Staley's mom scouted Jaya. That's true. I wasn't driving to Albany or wherever he's.
Schenectady.
Schenectady. All right, wait a minute. Where's Swag's from?
Buffalo.
Okay,
Buffalo.
so he's from where the Goon's from. So that was. Did he go to Penfield High School? Okay.
Damn it, I should know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So there was. See, I never even knew the difference between Schenectady, Albany, and Buffalo. I just knew they were all up there, and they played volleyball, and there were some good players. So, and they came. So, you know, so Carp and Gunnar are battling it out because we had the Galoot at the time too. So the Galoot was pretty good too.
Which one's the Galoot?
Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson was a year older than those guys, and so and taller and arguably a better middle, and what am I saying? For sure a better middle. So then Carp and Goon were always battling for the second middle spot, or as you might say, M2. Who knows? But in any event, so they were always pitted against one another in practice, and then maybe when the Goon was dating Carp's sister and he blocked Carp or hit a ball, passed him something, I would go, and he's dating your sister, Carp. You got to be kidding me! You can't stop that guy. So, and then there was the day that Carp amounted to something. I'm sure you've heard this story. This is the definitive Carp story. Now he swears that I was in the gym in between matches, just screaming at him, and everyone in the gym heard me. But the bottom line was, I had said to Carp, I just said to him, "Are you ever going to amount to anything?" And that was the quote, you know. So then that's what I said to him, and he just sat there, and he just fumed, and then we wound up beating him, and that was '84, and that got us into the Eastern Final Four, and it knocked Stroudsburg out.
And Carp played well.
And Carp played really well. So that became known as the day Carp amounted to something. So that's where that legend comes from. Yeah, sure. I mean, all right, so let's just go back to Sabrina as a player. Sabrina, as you know, was Ivy League Player of the Year. She won three out of 4 Ivy League titles when she was there. She had no business being as good as she was, but she could take over a match. How can a 5'8" girl take over a match? Well, she would, you know, kill a couple balls in the front row, and none of them would hit the floor. They would all hit somebody's hand and go out of bounds. Then she'd rotate in the back row and serve a couple aces. Then after she was done serving a couple aces, she'd go over the power alley and dig 3 or 4 balls that somebody else would put away. And she would do it day in and day out, and that was her legacy as a player. and then to have her be my assistant and keep things going for, you know, she recruited all those people the last 7 years. And when she wanted the job, she said, "I'll recruit." I go, "Okay," you know, which is music to my ears. So then for her to go from like a stipend coach to actually a full-time coach and being able to survive, and then to go on and become my replacement, that's it doesn't get any better than that. And then the success that she's had, again, I said it before and I'll say it again, that she, how long were we together before?
7 years.
7. So that my career lasted 7 years longer than it should have, thanks to her, so I don't know what higher compliment I could pay her. No, it has been. No, my heart is full. I'm very proud. I'm really happy, what can I say? And she was a great undergraduate too. She got it. The kids that get it thrive in the program. I couldn't be happier about the state of the program. But again, I'll say I'm very happy that the women's and the men's program get along, that we continue to play volleyball the right way, and let's hold one another accountable. All right? Let's do that. And let's just say that.
So
that's my legacy. All right?
I like it.
It's a pretty good legacy. It's almost like Cosa Nostra. It's our thing. And I think part of it has to do with the early struggles and the $5 meal money and packing a van while other teams, were on the luxury buses and I don't know what else is there to say.
What do you
Keep it going. The only other thing there's to say to you, keep it going, and to Sabrina, keep it going. Just we it's just continues to build, and that's how it works in athletics. Going back to those guys that were before me, and they set the table, and then we just kept going, and it just keeps building, and now the program's in good hands with you and a bunch of computers and Sabrina and assistant coaches. Come on, that's great. And so just like those guys have to understand that they built something, I understand that I built something for you to pass on. We're just caretakers. We're taking care of the program and giving it on but it's fun taking care of it for a while. Hey, that's your problem now. Don't be throwing that on me. Sam, do what you want, man. You're just large and in charge up there. As long as you're wearing a tie that matches and you got a computer with you on the sideline, which I'm proud to say I never did.
Am I right?
3 computers on the sideline. Here it is. Time out, guys. Let's look at this computer, and it's going to give us the answer, what we're going to do. Good. Those computers are necessary. Sammy, just run the 3 and set the 5. But occasionally you got to set the 3 to set up 5, okay? Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. It's a good story, but it doesn't go anywhere. You had to be there. Again, figure it out. You can look it up. I don't know for sure. It was good to go up and play the Brewers, so I have a few memories of it. You weren't one of them, though.
No. It would have been great if we somehow could have taken a picture of us shaking.
Yeah, you were just another nondescript 6-foot left side player that we didn't really pay much attention to. Who you won in the L2, Sammy, that you're so popular with saying?
I've never
L2. By the way, we never use the expression L2 or L1 or until you got to Princeton.
Me?
So yeah.
What you used to say?
Outside hitter, that idiot.
Yeah.
The other outside hitter. So and we never used the traditional volleyball terminology 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We never did that. So there's
So we've killed the game.
yeah. No, you've given it a sense of uniformity where you can talk to people about it.